Hey guys, it's me, Lunar. Today, I'll be talking about a certain topic that is pretty mixed upon in the community. The topic is ranked. Boo! As someone who you think is pretty mediocre at the game, I don't think ranked is all that ranked at all, actually. I mean, it all comes down to what your mindset is. As a mythic player in both the old and the new system, have found that consistency is the key to going far in ranked. Now, as you might be asking, Lunar, what about randoms? This is a team game after all, and sometimes they sell and you can't do anything about it. To that, I have a simple solution that is said in pretty much every guide. Consistency is key. I know sometimes ranked feels awful. Ranked randoms are horrible, and it feels like Danny Supercell is out to get you personally by not allowing you to get to your preferred rank. But those thoughts exactly are the things keeping you from getting to higher ranks in this game mode. Something that helped me to get over the stress and frustration that is solo queuing in ranked is watching the replays of my games to see where I went wrong. In this in the game, you might be conflicted as you watch in frustration all your precious elo points going to waste because of the stupid randoms that Danny Supercell is giving you as teammates. No hate, of course. Danny is a great community manager, but getting frustrated is something you absolutely want to avoid. Now I'm gonna be honest. I'm human too, and I'm not gonna pretend I actually don't get frustrated and angry at my randoms. That's something I feel is kind of ignored in most guides that I have seen. I actually get really frustrated sometimes. You may have seen me get angry and ranked in my LOLs series, in which I want to show my actual unfiltered self. We all get frustrated while playing, as it's natural. But something a lot of people miss in that mindset is what you do after you get frustrated. Personally, I like watching back my games every time I lose and look exactly what went wrong each time. It might be because of a bad draft. It might be because you lost a lane. A lot of people tend to forgive themselves really quickly when they make a mistake, and tend to get really mad at the randoms because they do a mistake. Because obviously, it's easier to get mad at people who you don't know than get mad at yourself. And that is exactly what is wrong with a lot of people who push. After every game, try to evaluate your mistakes to how important you were to your team's loss. Try to look who is really to blame and for what reason. Don't just go ahead and blame your randoms after you evaluate like a ranked monkey. So yeah, from this point, I want you to get the time to evaluate after every game. See where you first made mistakes and see how big that mistake was. The next game, try to avoid doing that mistake again. By doing less mistakes, you will in turn feel better about your gameplay and you won't be as tilted. Drafting is a key part of ranked, and something that influences a lot on how the match ends up going in the end. Of course, skill is massively important, but drafting is as valuable as skill right now. Drafting is another big reason why you lose a lot of your games at the end of the day. If you lose drafting, then you have to rely on a lot of skill in order to win. To understand drafting better, I'll make an analogy. Think of it as going to war. Each side is trying to outplay their opponents with adapting to each other's strategies. Drafting, in fact, reminds me a lot of a popular board game I enjoy a lot called Risk. Anyways, going back to my analogy, you each try to ban out each other's strong points at the start. Then go ahead and try to outplay each other. Each class has a counter, so think about what class counters what. If the enemy team has a lot of snipers, you can go an assassin to quickly get rid of their pressure. A great example is Fang. Fang can easily shut down snipers like Brock without them being able to do anything against him. If the enemy team is lacking reliable damage, then you can just go lock in a tank to counter their low damage, overwhelming them in the process. A really good example for this is Hank. Hank is a brawler that has a lot of HP, a lot of self-sustainability, and in turn, a lot of pressure, even behind walls. So picking him is actually a really good idea into brawlers who don't do that much damage. Alright, finally, If the enemy team is lacking in wall break options, throwers will be your best friends in that scenario with how much control they are able to provide for the team. A really good example for this is someone like Juju or Barley, who can zone out enemies who can't get past their walls without being in any danger themselves and shooting behind those walls. The point I want you to get from this is drafting is extremely important, so try to master it by maybe watching the monthly qualifiers and keeping up with the meta. So to sum up this video, I try to evaluate your games and search why you lost that game by watching the replay of your lost games and try to be consistent in playing well and try to master drafting to get better and ranked as a whole. Anyways, that was all I had to say about this video. Lunar, out.